person having a shorter piece to cut. Although this is long enough that I could do that. But I'll just, for the sake of super safety, I'll do this. All right, so this is up, 45. Here, I'm gonna put this in the saw. Oh, I did it the wrong way. That's hilarious. So, if you're maybe slightly dyslexic like I am sometimes, then flipping around this way. This is the cut I wanted to do first. The thing I want to tell you about this before we do the cut is, here's the laser, right? The laser and the blade are in relationship with one another. The blade falls just to the right of the laser. So when you have a mark, typically what you can do is you can put the mark on, the laser on the mark and cut and you're fine, usually. In this case, however, because the part we're keeping is on the right side of the blade, if I do that, then I'm gonna cut this short because it's gonna cut on this side of the blade. So if my line is on this, I'm cutting on the inside, I'm losing material that I need to keep. So I have to make sure that this is slightly off that to account for the thickness of the blade. The thickness of the blade is called the kerf. So to account for the kerf, I need to make sure that this is lined up so that my blade is gonna cut just to the left of this line because I wanna keep everything to the right of it. So you have to keep track of that in your brain. That's a little bit of a, okay. So what I'm gonna do then with this, before I clamp it down or anything, I'm gonna just pull the blade down and see where the cut is gonna land. So I have to come over here and I have to get sort of really lined up on it so that I can see straight down the blade. If you're trying to do it from over here or from over here, you're not gonna be able to see where the blade and the line and the laser are. So you have to be right on the blade. You pull this down, you look at it carefully, and what you're aiming for is not the middle of the blade, you're aiming for the right side of the blade. So this needs to come this way, and I'm gonna just bring it down and let it bite a little bit. I'm making sure that the outside of this tooth, because they have teeth and they're like that wide, and it whips through the material, so I'm gonna make sure that that blade is on this side of that cut so that I keep everything in here, because this is all the material that I wanna keep. All right, looking at that. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna come here, tighten this. This is actually, I'm gonna tighten this first so that that's in position, and then I'm gonna tighten this to help me hold it in place. This is supported here. You wanna make sure it's not hitting this. So I pulled the table out a little bit so we're okay. This hasn't moved, it's all right, but before you chop, check it again. Measure thrice, cutteth once. I'm glad that's on video. Okay, so I'm just gonna move that just a hair more. And now we're good, all right? So my hand should be roughly here. I don't really have to hold this, but I don't like ever letting go of the material. So I'm gonna kind of come over here. I know where my blade's gonna go now, so I don't really need to see that. Press down on this yellow thing and pull this toward myself. You can see like there's just the hair of that line is right there. So that should be good. Now I'm gonna do this one. So to do that,